Dear friends of the Michael Chekhov International Academy, this video is a letter, a video letter. There were in these times, of course, some thoughts, forward, backward. How can we manage it to continue our work individually and also being connected? And there are some conversations, some exchanges. And in the end, it came to the point that I thought I will send you this video letter. Some thoughts were going in this direction that we need to strengthen these impulses we got from the Chekhov technique. And now there is a point we have to be careful not to make too much or to want too much. And it was just Darren who was reminding me about my own story. How I had developed for myself my personal Chekhov training. And then there was Andrea. She reminds me about a poem what was a long time of my life, always with me. And then also all that people who have done such work and the people who will do it. There are some connections between me and them, and these connections sometimes are also very intensive. And then these people also from the past groups, they are connecting with each other, and they find themselves together sometimes to have a little training. And there are also some exchanges about some positive experiences about this training. And this all together gave me this little impulse for this video. And I would like to start with a poem. It is a German poem. It is from Novalis. And in some of the groups I have offered it, but not in all. And maybe it's good to remind us to that poem in these times. Wenn nicht mehr Zahlen und Figuren sind Schlüssel aller Kreaturen. Wenn die, so singen oder küssen, mehr als die Tiefgelehrten wissen. Wenn sich die Welt ins freie Leben und in die Welt wird zurückbegeben. Wenn dann sich wieder Licht und Schatten zu echter Klarheit werden gatten und man in Märchen und Gedichten erkennt die wahren Weltgeschichten. Dann fliegt vor einem geheimen Wort das ganze verkehrte Wesen fort. I will give you in the end also the English translation to that poem on the screen so that you can read it. And there is this little story, and excuse me that I speak about my personal experiences. It was in the, I think in the early 80s, and I got from my friend Paul Corman the book from Michael Chekhov. The full story I can't tell you now, but then I got this book and I started to read that. And it was the German translation from To the Actor. Werkgeheimnisse der Schauspielkunst. Übersetzt, translated by Georgette Bohner. And I was looking into that book, and then there was a preface, and there was some from Jill Brunner, and then there was from Chekhov, I need your help, ich brauche deine Hilfe. And then it opens, and then the actor's body and cycle. Okay. And then I came after 2 pages to exercise 1. And then I understood it doesn't make sense to read that book. And from that point, I started to push away the table in the living room, taking the book, started to read. Exercise 1, erste Übung, einfache, ausladende Bewegungen. Mache einfache, ausladende Bewegungen. Mache sie mit deinem ganzen Körper mit genügend Kraft, jedoch ohne deine Muskeln unnötig anzustrengen. Beanspruche dabei möglichst viel Raum. Okay. And then, dehne deine Muskeln, etc. Exercise 1, into the actor. Okay. And I found out this exercise 1, this is, minimum 5 exercises, but some of the exercises have also some other details in it. Okay, I started. And I did these wide, broad movements in my living room space. And I continued. And then I came to other exercise 2nd. Imaginary center. And then I came to other exercise 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was working through the book, and parallel I was performing, and I experienced in this performance, when I was working for a character with a psychological gesture, I just tried it out. Nobody was teaching me. But what was the important point? The important point was when I started with exercise 1 and until 9, always I felt something happens to me. Something changes for me. My relationship to myself, my relationship to my body, my full life starts to change. I could sense it. And I think this is one of the huge, wonderful, big things what everybody of you have also experienced. When you have done the work, one feels mostly alive after it. One feels something happens to oneself. And so we understood that there's acting technique and the searching for the tools of creativity and searching how creativity is working, that this is changing, transforming ourselves. It is for our life. Of course, it helps for the acting, it helps for the directing, it helps for other work, when we want to work with people together, when we want to create something with other people, when we need new ideas, also for our daily life. It works for the artistic life. And it works for the personal life. And I think that's so wonderful, and we can be so grateful to Mr. Michael Chekhov that he gave us all that, what he, through his life, developed. We have to re-explore it. We have to recreate it just by doing it. And you may remember, sometimes I taught you in the classes, yeah, even 5 minutes per day to do one of the exercises, do one bit of the exercises, do one archetypal gesture per day. You will see something will happen to you. And when you add to that, to the psychophysical training, just doing simply the exercises for your own life. And when you add to it a concentration, an imagination, and clearly observation of a plant, of an image, or of thinking about a word, even taking 3-5 minutes for it. This is a great, great source for life power. So I think in these times it may be helpful to remind oneself, even for that we can go forward, and that we can go to our next meetings, that we can go to re-meet again, and that we can know we are all connected through Michael Chekhov, through his inspirations, through his gifts. We are connected with him. We have to do all what we have to do in our daily life. There we are very much individuals. There we are sometimes very much alone. But in this loneliness, we also can know we are connected. We can remind us to the wonderful moments we had together in our work. And we can remind us that we got so much inspiration from Michael Chekhov, everybody individual. And in this meaning, I would like to say this poem once more. Wenn nicht mehr Zahlen und Figuren sind Schlüssel aller Kreaturen. Wenn die, so singen oder küssen, mehr als die Tiefgelehrten wissen. Wenn sich die Welt ins freie Leben und in die Welt wird zurückbegeben. Wenn dann sich wieder Licht und Schatten zu echter Klarheit werden gatten und man in Märchen und Gedichten erkennt die wahren Weltgeschichten. Dann fliegt vor einem geheimen Wort das ganze verkehrte Wesen fort. And it is a poem what is even really fitting for this time now in September, fitting to the 29th of September, the Michael Day. You know, the Archangel Michael, this hero who was fighting and is still fighting with a dragon. And we see some pictures, you can check for some pictures of Michael fighting with a dragon. There are different ones, but there is one important thing. He is fighting with the dragon, and he is bringing the dragon under his feet. He is not killing him. And with his willpower, he brings the dragon under his feet and holds it there. And then you see there mostly is a spear or a sword. And the spear goes to the face of the dragon, but is not disturbing it. Going is saying, I bring from heaven something to you, to your face, to your mind. The spear is a clear thinking. And the spear is brought to the dragon's head with the hands, with one hand, with the arm, from the heart area. With love, clear thinking, with love can hold the dragon under our feet. It is a creature, it's a being. And it needs our clear thinking, our imagination, our power of imagination. It needs our power of love, as Chekhov it calls many times. And it needs our willpower to hold the impulses we don't need from that dark ground in our life, to hold them down. But on the other hand, it is also a kind of teaching to the dragon. Thank you for listening, and I'm looking forward to work together with each of you again, to meet you, and to build with you together on the future. Thank you very much. Wenn nicht mehr Zahlen und Figuren sind Schlüssel aller Kreaturen. Wenn die so singen oder küssen, mehr als die Tiefgelehrten wissen. Wenn sich die Welt ins freie Leben und in die Welt wird zurückbegeben. Wenn dann sich wieder Licht und Schatten zu echter Klarheit werden gatten. Und man in Märchen und Gedichten erkennt die wahren Weltgeschichten. Dann fliegt vor einem geheimen Wort das ganze verkehrte Wesen